Welcome back guys, Harry here, known as Trade Sharp. Welcome to today's video. And today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin a little bit on the higher time frames where it's looking bullish on the higher time frames as always. And we'll dive into some lower time frame analysis. We'll also look at Crow, our altcoin of today. And if you find that valuable, please like and subscribe this video. So first of all, bouncing off our daily pivot here, right? And this is the pivot that I said I was expecting a bounce, and you can see that very clearly when we remove the drawings. Also, for a while I haven't brought up the Bollinger Bands, and if you look at the Bollinger Bands, that's exactly where the bottom Bollinger Band is coming in. So I wouldn't mind seeing us pop up a little bit, come back down and swipe out this area like we've seen here in the past, right? We get the first bounce, play out a bit of sideways, swipe out this area, consolidate, and then get going, right? Similar action. I mean, here, we've had a few wicks below it, and then we consolidate and go up. Here we didn't really test it, but definitely the last dump we did, right? And on top of that, if I do bring my moving averages, I always trust the 50. I think it's a very underused moving average, and we can see we are bouncing exactly on the 50 as we did here. Now, as reference, if we do get below the 50, it's not good news, right? And back tested in the past, we do have quite an aggressive dump, but I don't mind seeing wicks, right, in this area, and we're gonna back that up by some lower time frame analysis. So let's get rid of all of that, bring back our drawings, and get straight onto the lower time frames. I do believe the Stokes should be turning up. Yes, they are. We are on aggressive downtrend here on the daily time frame, and they should be getting picked up. So you can see there is that trend line getting here. So if it does cross up to the upside, we could expect a bit of a bounce from this area. Looking at 2-day momentum, it's still crossed down, and the higher time frame momentum, it's still basically neutral, but it's not looking, such a bad shot. And I want to show you CMEs because weekly will close tomorrow, so we'll have a look at that. But look at this, guys. Look at the daily on CMEs. The last lower high is all the way down at 45,000. So, you know, uh, it's not technically bearish until we close below that. So we have a lot of room, wiggle room, as I call it. So lower time frame 4 hour, definitely some upside here, which we can see we're getting closing above this pivot, probably pop up maybe to these wicks here. This will cause some natural resistance on the 1 hour, which we can see directly at this area. So we might get rejected here, play a bit of sideways action, get a couple of swipes down here, especially over the weekend, shake a few people out. We can see from the Elon Musk pump, we just put in another lower high here, catching this pivot there. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for Bitcoin, guys. Not too exciting, but not looking too bad on the very, very high time frame. Uh, you know, so let's go straight into, actually, let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance, right? We haven't looked at that for a while. So Bitcoin dominance on the daily, you can see we're in a very tight consolidation area, and we have a clear support here at 60. Until we close below this support, I don't think we're going to kick off an old season. On top of that, kicking off an old season historically means that that's the end of the bull run for Bitcoin, and we're going to go sideways for a long time. Now, if this does turn out to be a super cycle like 2013, where we go sideways for 3 months, then we'll have to break the structure on Bitcoin on not only the daily time frame, but we'll probably break the structure on the weekly, which is breaking that 44,000 pivot on the weekly, or just breaking that wick there will be enough to do it, right? And then I think we play a long term sideways, and then you see the Bitcoin dominance drop. So I think it still has a bit of juice in it, getting a bounce here, but we'll see what happens. And of course I'll keep you updated, but let's get into this. Today's is crypto.com's coin, and look at the exchanges they give. How useless is that? you know So I guess we'll have to go with all of these. KuCoin probably will be a cleaner chart. So on the daily closing above here, we do have this scam wick here. God knows what that is. Momentum is crossing up, keeping an upward trend. Oh, this is the weekly. Daily, is crossed down here, but structure is still held until we break all the way down here at at 0.17. So we have a lot of wiggle room, right? We do have some support coming in just around here, which I do see price bouncing off nicely at this current area. Looking at the 4 hour, we can see Stokes are turning up, bouncing off that support, still holding a downwards trend. Structure is technically not flipped until we break this high up here. looking at what the current market is doing, everything is kind of going down. I do expect this to consolidate at this level here, and I'm not expecting any explosive moves, but generally on the higher time frames as the daily, there's still a healthy chart, right? And I would be looking for some more upside movements. To take some price targets, we can easily just take a Fibonacci from here to here, and we can see, the first price target is back up to all-time high and then to 2.7. And if we do take it from the base to our current high, which will give us long-term targets, we can see where those targets are playing out, right? So here and here. With that being said, I'll leave you to it. Altcoins are having dump all around the board. Just some on my list. Look at that. Look at that. Wow, that's copy paste, huh? I mean, this is pretty disgusting. If you want me to go deep into alts, please join us on Sunday. We do have on Sunday, uh, we do have our live stream where we are going to deep dive into alts, and you guys can show me alts and I'll have a look. So just to show you what these alts are doing, all breaking structure. So definitely join us for that. And with that being said, take care and trade sharp.